Hello, my name is Duncan Taylor. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. I grew up in a family of 8 children, had a great mother and father, and I'm in the thoroughbred horse business along with 3 of my other brothers. We run the largest thoroughbred horse selling company in the world, and we've been very blessed. I love Hard as Nails and what they stand for and what they're doing. And one of the reasons, as I grew up, I sort of looked at my dad, who made us work all the time, as a real pain in my rear end, that he made me work. And, it wasn't until I was probably in my mid-30s and I already started the company and everything that one day it dawned on me that the greatest gift that I had was my parents and then them loving me. So when I met up with Justin and I saw what he was doing and I saw his zeal and passion and the way he could deliver and teach others to deliver a message about Christ that was relevant, and he could put it in words that his audience understood, and he could cut to the core where they could really buy in and they could see the meaning of what a life with Jesus Christ could be like. And I'm not saying he could do it in an hour, but Justin has a way, if you keep hanging around him, within a certain amount of time, you'll see that he's for real. He really believes what he's sharing, and he's got really the best of the other person in his heart. And I think that Pope John Paul II, when I was reading an encyclical, I was always a task person. I was trying to get this done, that done, this done in my business. And he said in the encyclical, if you've got the task before the person, then you've got it backwards. And that same thing, after I read that encyclical, I met up with Justin. I said, that's what he's saying. I mean, basically, it's about the who somebody is, and caring about that person. And you notice with Mother Teresa and with St. John Paul II, you hear many people say, I talked to him and I felt like I was the only person in the room. So Justin is actually trying to teach us through his encouragement coaching of how to be that way with other people that need us and bring the love of Christ and mentorship into these kids' lives. And it's kids that are broken. I've worked with some inner city kids, and I was with a kid the other day, and his dad had he didn't take his life, but he lost his life from an overdose. And this fellow that I was working with said, try to talk to this kid. It was the first time he'd come to work at the farm for a few days. And I went over there and started talking to him. And I said, well, how many brothers and sisters do you have? After I told him I was sorry to hear about his dad. He said, there's 13 of us. And we talked a little more. And I said, well, how many moms are there? He said, 6 or 8. And it just dawns on me how much these kids need us, and how much we the people that have been blessed and that have lived good lives, and we've been blessed with funds, how I think we're called to really dig down and give more than we would naturally give to help these kids, because the family is the building block of society. And if we don't restore what fathers and mothers bring to kids, what I call the ramifications of not having a good family, we can see them in suicide and drug abuse, divorce. I mean, the ramifications are all over. And so if we can center on these kids, help these kids, and get these kids to understand and encourage each other, and if they can go out and they become parents and they raise a good family, that's how we're going to win the country back, and that's how we're going to win a good society, and that's how we're going to build up the body of Christ. And that's basically what you're giving to. You receive the body of Christ if you're a Catholic when you go to Mass, but you become the body of Christ when you help things like this, and we join together to help these kids, to bring them to Christ, and to love them. And love is not in the eros term. This is an agape type of love, where you might not even know the kid, and you're giving money that you worked hard for and you earned. And it is a sacrifice. And whatever you can give, it's not going to be wasted. We're not wasting money. We're not paying big salaries. This money's going to help these kids, and we're basically trying to do it one human being at a time and let them know that there's something very special. God made them in his image and his likeness, and whatever's happened to them or whatever situation they're in, God's given them great gifts. And if we can encourage them to start using them and building them up, we're going to do the world a great service. And I thank you for the consideration.